On June 4, 2021, Gawr Gura had reached 3 million subscribers. At this moment, she had become the first VTuber ever to reach such a milestone, and subsequently passed Keniisu AI, the former most subscribed VTuber in the world. This rapid rise to stardom came less than a year after her debut, as a part of the newly introduced Hololive English branch. After fans had become enamored with the VTubing scene in Hololive, talents such as Korone, Pakor, and Kuryu Koko rose to prominence in the West. Naturally, it only made sense from there that an English-speaking branch of Hololive would soon come into fruition. However, I don't think anyone expected such a rapid and meteoric rise to come in just a few months' time. But to see what it took to get here, we're going to need to rewind back to September 12, 2020. First impressions are everything. Whether it's in the business world or in personal interactions, ensuring that you make a lasting and good impression is very important.
Watson's concocts.
I am a man.
And that's no different in VTubing. In a typical VTuber debut, this is your moment to introduce yourself to the audience and make them want to continue watching you post-debut. It's the ideal time to showcase your creativity, your charm, and what you have to offer as a creator. With that being said, on September 12, 2020, Gawr Gura was scheduled to debut alongside the rest of the HoloMyth lineup, with her being fourth in line. During this time, expectations were high and Gawr Gura definitely felt the pressure, recanting how she could feel the heartbeat in her head and had forgotten eating prior to the debut stream. This was her moment to shine, and boy did she ever.
Shock. You've heard of Atlantis? Have you ever been? Have you been to Atlantis? Oh my gosh, we have so much to talk about. I don't think we have time for all this discussion we must have. Shock.
In her debut, Gawr Gura set many memes into motion, the most notable being the "ah" meme, which made a lasting impression on fans. Furthermore, her talented singing rendition of Right on Time still stands as one of the best and most recognizable covers from Hololive. If there was ever such a thing as a perfect first impression, I think her debut stream comes pretty close to that definition. With over 40,000 viewers tuned in to watch her performance, I'm sure most came away with high hopes for the Hololive talent. In terms of what her debut is meant to do, it just simply met all the criteria. I think part of what allowed Gawr Gura to succeed in the way she did was due in part to her nailing this first impression with her audience. She was able to easily introduce herself, her talents, and her charisma to a wide array of people across the 1-hour stream. It allowed people to see that she was bringing a lot to the table in terms of appeal, and speaking of which, let's take a moment to just briefly touch upon what that appeal is.
Stepbrother, help.
Gawr Gura as a VTuber has a lot of strengths, and it's hard to scratch even the surface of what she's done to make her audience so enthralled with their content. As a person, she's naturally charismatic and quick-witted, with a lot of her humor revolving around her improvisation skills.
Gura, my dog died. Let's go! Those cheeks. No! I was right in the picture of the cheek!
You can look no further than her sponsor Taco Bell stream, where this style of comedy was on full display. When you watch clips of Gawr Gura, you get the sense that she's just a natural entertainer. Almost all of her streams have some highlight or another where her comedic expertise shines through. As one viewer puts it, she feels like a funny friend in your Discord server that you love playing games with or just chatting with. And this down-to-earth feel is what appeals to a lot of people. Gura is incredibly personable and self-aware about her flaws, and she even does some self-deprecating humor about it when she does make mistakes. She doesn't take herself too seriously, which I feel adds to the attraction of her personality and streams. Not to mention, in regards to her success, Gawr Gura hasn't let it go to her head and has been relatively drama-free and without controversy. All in all, these characteristics aren't all which encompass why people love Gura, but it's definitely a few of the factors that play a role. Now, with all those positive qualities and the power of Hololive backing her, it was inevitable for Gawr Gura to see some success. However, I don't think many foresaw how successful she would quickly become. Gura soon after her debut became one of the fastest growing VTubers of all time. On average, every 2 to 5 days, she would have another 100k subscribers added to her account, eventually reaching the milestone of 500k on September 26, 2020. And on my birthday, October 22, 2020, only 37 days after her debut, she would overtake Shirakami Fubuki and Inugami Korone as the most subscribed Hololive VTuber, reaching 1 million subscribers in total in the process.
Did we both just hit a milestone together?
Yeah, we did both just hit a milestone.
This milestone in particular would make her the third VTuber ever to reach such a feat, but the first English-speaking one to do so. It had been made clear by this point that Gawr Gura was bringing people into the hobby of VTubing who traditionally weren't around for the pre-EN days. I think it's fair to say that Gawr Gura and HoloMyth as a whole were the introduction to VTubing for many indies nowadays. And that's something that shouldn't be overlooked either. There was a clear demand and content gap for English-speaking VTubers, and Gawr Gura alongside the rest of HoloMyth were there to pioneer it. And shout out to the clip channels as well, because they also played a role in the spread of VTubing to the Western audience. While the early clip channels played a significant role in spreading the medium to the Western speaking audiences by translating them, the new ones which cropped up after the establishment of HoloMyth only bolstered and provided momentum to the movement. Not to mention, around the time of the debut, lockdowns and COVID-19 were in full swing and had everyone depressed and stuck indoors, so this was prime time for VTubers to take over in popularity. I remember fondly watching Gawr Gura during quarantine, and it was a bit of an uplifter for my mood at the time. Also, I'm sure someone out there has the conspiracy theory that releasing HoloMyth during lockdowns was a coordinated move by Cover Corp. However, I'll just chalk this up to impeccable timing. Needless to say, regardless of the surrounding conditions of Gawr Gura's success, nonetheless it was a success, and I'm sure Yaga was incredibly happy. Moving onward, I was originally going to continue running down the list of her milestones during the 2021 and 2022 years. Reaching 2 million subscribers, surpassing Keniisu AI, reaching 3 million, you get the point. However, I found that boring, and I feel it's important to take a step back and look at the larger picture I touched upon earlier. And that is that Gawr Gura and HoloMyth as a whole played a significant role in the movement of Western audiences into the VTubing community. Whether you're a fan or not, you can't take away the fact that their collective success proved that there was a clear demand for English-speaking VTubers. And I think the person who realized this far more than anyone else at the time was Keniisu, who actively campaigned for an English-speaking branch of Hololive. Even though she's gone from Hololive, her impact was a lasting one on the company, and it shows in the success of HoloMyth. I'll end off on this. Every few weeks on the 4chan VTuber board, there are talks of the quote-unquote Gura killer, the VTuber that's going to come along and supersede her in popularity. However, much like Keniisu AI did for several years, I believe Gawr Gura will hold the title of most subscribed VTuber for quite some time. Her success was no mistake, and she's a natural entertainer who I believe will continue inspiring VTubers and making fans laugh for quite some time. Put it simply, Gawr Gura easily dominated the Western market of VTubing for a reason, and I don't think that will change anytime soon. Anyways, if you enjoyed this video and want to see more VTuber analysis, then be sure to subscribe to the channel and click the bell for notifications. Also, consider following me over on Twitter and also joining the Discord if you're interested in chatting with me and others. Thanks so much for watching, and peace out.